so often someone's driving through the city and they're like, what's that? What is that object over there? Well, that's the response we want. We want that wonder. We want that curiosity. We want people to respond emotionally and then also realize the process of creativity that was involved in actually producing such a thing.
It's a very rewarding feeling when you see people enjoying public art in a casual way.
I think it lends a certain vibrancy to the community that a lot of cities lack.
We're frankly standing on the shoulders of a lot of thoughtful people that advocated strongly for this type of investment in our community, and we're seeing the benefit of it now.
When art is placed in public places, it becomes something more. It exists for everyone. It belongs to anyone. Toledo's 1% for Art program was the very first in Ohio, among the first in the nation, and has served as the adopted model for other regional agencies since. It took the passion of remarkable people in our community to take the first steps and lay the groundwork that enabled the art in our public places to grow and survive.
When we finally started talking about public art, I knew that we were on track for something special. In those days, not many people had even heard about this kind of a program and what it could do for a city. And now it's flying.
There are really three tenets to art in public places. There's the acquisition of new work, there's the maintenance and conservation of existing work, and then we have education initiatives that help inform the public about the collection and the activities around that.
For the past 40 years, Toledo's public art collection has continued to grow under the stewardship of the Arts Commission. The Art in Public Places program acquires the collection through the thoughtful identification of new projects.
I mean, there's a lot of little bits and pieces that come together in order to make sure that the piece is working aesthetically, but also working, within the fabric of the community. We might decide on a site ourselves based on a need we see, or a community might bring the opportunity to us. Once a location is decided, we commission the work through a design review process. Ultimately, because each piece is meant to express a community's values, they are always involved in the process.
As we continue to grow this collection, what it all comes down to is when there's a need to tell a community's story, art can really help tell it. Each piece is really meant to share the story of our region and reflect who we are.
Diligent conservation is needed to protect the city's investment. It's important to remember that this collection belongs to all of us as citizens of Toledo.
It's not just to install it and walk away. It's to install it, maintain it, so they can also enjoy it throughout the decades.
And I think it's really important for each of those citizens to feel a little bit of responsibility for the care of this artwork and its long-term maintenance so it can continue to be here for future generations.
It needs community ownership. Oftentimes we find out about conservation issues. Folks in the community care about the work that is in their neighborhood.
Major Ritual is the first major acquisition in the collection. We just recently moved this large two-piece sculpture into a wonderful new site at Beschenstein Park. We moved it because before it was really half hidden. Not too many people had the opportunity to see it. Now it's front and center and really in the heart of downtown Toledo.
Over the last year and a half, we're seeing about $1.4 million of investment in public art or public art infrastructure from outside City of Toledo resources.
All the wonderful work that corporations are doing to renovate our community. We were there ahead, and they recognize it, and they all are wanting to work with us as well.
But having this wonderful collection doesn't mean anything if the people of Toledo aren't aware of it. We need to ensure that we're educating our community about the art all around us, while also inspiring the youth of our community to embrace their inner creativity.
The importance of education within the public art program is to help the community understand why those public sculptures exist. One of our most fun projects was called the ABCs of Public Art.
And I've heard from a number of families how they have to keep a copy in the car, their kids to check off as they drive through the city. And I think that's really important as we work to connect the next generation.
The goal is to educate children that it's all right to produce things that aren't what anyone else has ever thought of.
Public art instills meaning. It provides an understanding of where we work, live, and visit.
It's literally and figuratively a representation of the history of the city.
There are so many great stories in Toledo that haven't boiled up to the collective identity of who we are now. And I think public art has a great opportunity to elevate those stories and bring them out into our landscape for rediscovery.
A story to be told about every single project, and it's all about people and about our community.
I think it's important for people to know that this is their program, and I'd want them to go out and spend time with this great investment that's been made for Toledo and its citizens.
First of all, just look at it and be amazed at its structure.
To spend a day to see the variety and diversity of the works, and then go back to some of your favorite pieces and enjoy them at different times of the year because they change.
The name of it is not a critical issue. What it is your response to it. It's your reaction to it. It's your emotion. Everything's fair and everything's right.